guys, welcome back to Assetto Corsa, and today we're going to be racing the Mercedes W06.
Yep, this is one I've been actually sort of looking forward to because we had the Williams FW37 just a couple of weeks ago, which we reviewed by Formula Corsa, and Formula Corsa have gone and given us this.
Yeah.
So we've gone from the third fastest car on the grid to
the
fastest car on the grid,
and to probably the best as well.
Yeah, I would say it was the best. After driving it, I would say it is the best car on the grid. And like we said, it's the fastest car this season. And it's driven by Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg. So we're actually driving it in Lewis Hamilton's number, so number 44.
I mean, before you carry on, I'm just going to comment on the steering wheel because that's the first thing that actually just comes out. And I'm obviously I'm not talking about the numbers but I'm actually talking about the things on the side where it goes up and down. What is that? Like the gauge? Is it gauge? Revs?
What are you actually? You mean the blue and the green?
Yeah.
Yeah. So one's actually looks like the battery pack. Yep. The green is the battery pack.
Yeah.
So that's your battery charge, and the blue and the one that turns red is your throttle.
That's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And if you can actually see it. It feels like it's digital.
Yeah. It is very, very. I mean, I'm not a fan of these new HUDs that they've got in these cars because I like the small. I like the smaller classic steering wheel. But that is so highly detailed. I mean, if we look at that, what we can see here, we've got the gear in the middle, which you can see I'm going through. We've got the speed, and the speed is in miles an hour. So I wonder if we put it in kilometers an hour, whether it would show in kilometers an hour. We've got the
current lap time,
battery bar. Yeah, we've got the current lap time. We've got the delta. You can see that there'll be a delta show up on there. Underneath the current lap time, we've got a rev counter. So you can just see the revs building up. Then you've got underneath that, if we look carefully, left front, left rear, that is now your tyre pressures.
There must be a lot of telematics going on there in real life, not obviously. Yeah.
And there's also, I'm just having a look at something, it says 100%, under that it says 3500, can you see that?
I don't suppose that's turbo bar, is it?
That I think that is the turbo bar.
I'm sure we'll get people
commenting.
Yeah,
it might be. That is turbo, 3.5 bar.
When he puts his throttle fully down,
I'm sure people will be commenting and probably correcting us if we're wrong.
Yeah.
That is a turbo bar, so that's at 100%, and I think that looks really, really nice. The actual the LEDs, I like the LEDs. I'm glad that they kept them at the top.
Yeah.
That's always good. I like to see them, but the steering wheel itself. Other than that, if that was not there, it's quite a simple steering wheel in the sense that there's not that many buttons. So
it's crazy to know that in this car there's only the steering wheel that's got everything on it. There's no other buttons on the side or anything. It's just
actually, I think sometimes they have a handle down the side that handles brake bias.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, there's one down the side, but yeah, you're right. 99% of the car's functions are all on that steering wheel.
It's crazy to know that.
And that's everything from brake bias, fuel mixture,
Water.
DRS, all that kind of thing. Your drinks button.
And you're not going to get any spare change back in the seat either.
But it's a V6, just like the rest of the cars. So it is a Mercedes V6. Now this one is pulling 880 bhp in total.
That's more than
the Williams. Now remember, I said that I think Mercedes have pulled more power out.
Yeah.
I think this is showing it because they have 160 bhp off the battery pack, which is the same as all the others.
Yeah.
I think they've pulled more out of the engine now, which means that they're pulling 720 out of the engine. Now, if I remember correctly, it was the Williams showing 680?
680, I was going to say 690, 680.
Yeah, so they've pulled out, remember I said I think they pulled out another 20 bhp.
And that's difference between them getting extra few seconds or extra.
Yeah.
But I think with this car it's not just that, but we'll go a bit more into 702 kilos, so just like the rest of them, as I almost crash. I am going to crash a few times in this actually. 690 newton meters of torque. Now what's really interesting is when you look at the torque bar, it's at about 5,500 RPM, this torque. After that it just tapers off. The more you accelerate, the more it just tapers off, which is quite typical of these cars. Unlike, if you remember the other Formula 1 cars, their highest torque was like 12,000, 13,000 RPM was their highest torque.
Yeah.
Power in this, obviously optimum rev point is about 10,700 RPM, somewhere around there. And you notice that because if you look at the LED display, when it goes blue, there's two lights on the side, they'll also go blue, so you'll see it as I come out this corner. The moment it goes blue, that means it's shift time. So that's the ideal time to shift.
I mean, you did say there was a tendency to oversteer off the throttle.
Understeer.
Understeer,
Yeah.
sorry, not oversteer, yeah.
Yep, it does. I noticed that when I came off the throttle, especially coming out of Beckett's and into Chapel, it did tend to understeer the moment I was off throttle. But the moment I put a little bit of throttle on, it seemed to drag the car around the corner quite nicely.
Yeah.
So that was something. But I think that's reminiscent of all the Formula One cars of last year and this year. They all seem to do the same thing.
Alright, I'm going to interrupt you there. Look at the wing mirrors, especially the right one. You can actually see, I mean, you can see the shine, you can actually see a bit of shadow.
Yeah, you can see
That
the
is
reflections.
impressive.
You can see the
That is
reflections there.
Where are we looking?
Look at.
On the actual sign.
We're now
Oh,
pointing
yeah.
at this.
No.
Okay, yeah.
Now look
it.
on that side.
That is actually pretty impressive. I didn't know that.
Now I think they've really. We talk about that, but then we might as well talk about the textures. Textures are top notch,
You
as
can
always.
see the shine off the
I mean-
car, and it's not just overdone. It's
Yeah,
just.
I mean,
exactly
if you
how
look
it
at the
should be.
replay that we've got in the top corner, you'll have a look at the replay box. Even in there, you can see just how fantastically detailed this is as I lose control of the car. But it's very, very good. Textures, remember the Williams, they had the 4K textures available, and with this car, it's just absolutely phenomenal textures. This car, obviously, Mercedes returned to Formula One 2010.
Yeah.
Where they had Michael Schumacher and Nico Rosberg. Rosberg's still there, and we've got Lewis Hamilton there now. And they won the championship last year, and they had one problem really with their car, and that was reliability last year
And the noise.
and the noise. But there's nothing they can do about the noise. I think
That's just a regulation,
it's-
isn't it? You can't do much
Yeah.
about the noise.
no, they've just ruined that. Here we go again.
Yeah, every video.
Every single video. But yeah, so they really focused on reliability, and I think in testing, in one of the tests, I think they clocked up over 500 laps in this car, which is more than any other team, just to make sure that they could get this car as reliable as they could get it. Has that made a difference? Well, we're coming mid-season now. Silverstone's the next race,
And
and we'll see. We'll have to see as the season goes on.
at the moment, yes.
At the moment, yeah, it's doing really, really well. The biggest visual difference, of course, on this car, the nose. Now, I did say, let's see, about 6 episodes ago or so, when we were looking at the fantasy Formula One car, and we had that one that we were trying to figure out what it was. Remember, we were saying, is it a bit of a Ferrari, a bit of a McLaren? What is it? That one had a nose that was kind of similar to this. However, of course, it didn't have the gaping nose. The Mercedes last year had a very nice nose, but it was gaping. So this one, as you can see in the replays, it's very nice and narrow. That is actually the new regulations as well.
Right, I'm going to go back to when you're talking about the brake horse on this car.
Yep.
This car is pulling 880.
Yeah.
You said it's 20 or 30 more than.
Yep,
The
it
other
does
car.
seem to be, yes.
How is that possible?
I would say optimization, fuel mapping,
Mapping,
and
yeah.
all that kind of stuff. Optimizing exactly what they've got. Again, these are the people at Brixworth and Brackley.
Yeah.
Mercedes high performance powertrains at Brixworth, and then they send the engine to Brackley where they make these cars, and they'd say, okay, what more can we do with this engine as I crash? This is at one point where I think this lap is really, really scruffy. I'm going to go off twice. I think before the end of this lap, I'm going to go off twice again.
Hey,
But yeah, that's how they do that.
Now, you said that the physics seem to be accurate compared to the FW37 car, and apparently that gives it the advantages in the corner, is it?
Yeah, the physics are accurate.
Okay.
And if you compare this car to the FW37, the Williams FW37,
Yeah.
it's this car has more mechanical grip. Right? Now, mechanical grip, you have 2 types of grip. You have aerodynamic grip, which is obviously which you get from the bodywork and the front wing angle and all of that. Then you've got mechanical grip. Now, mechanical grip comes from suspension, the way the car is built, the way the chassis is actually built. And this car is known in the real world to have better mechanical grip, and it is simulated quite well here because the car was much easier, as you can see in these low-speed corners, to turn in.
Yeah.
It's a much easier car to turn in low-speed corners. And mid-speed as well. And you just point the nose in and it will go in the direction you want it to go. And that's really good. The Williams, it had a tendency to either slightly oversteer at times.
drift as well, wouldn't
Yeah,
it?
exactly. It would just drift just slightly. And it made it a little bit more difficult to handle. And I think that is the biggest difference, considering the two of them are pretty much running the same engine. And I think that is the biggest difference between these two cars, is that mechanical grip. aerodynamically, I think the best car, I'll be honest, the best car on the grid, and I said this 2 weeks ago, aerodynamically, the best car on the grid, I think, is the McLaren. Yeah. Mechanically, I'm not too sure, but in terms of engine, that car is so bad. It's, you know, it's lounging around with the Manor cars, and you know, the right at the back of the field. This car, it's got the engine, it's got the aero, it's got the mechanics, and that's what makes it so good. And well, we've got to say, it's got 2 very good drivers as well, Lewis Hamilton, Nico Rosberg. There you go again.
Did I just see a watch on it?
I was just gonna
Yes.
mention that. You
On
know
his
that.
left wrist. So if you don't have a watch, just paint one on your glove.
Actually, I think in there, that is actually a real watch.
Is
It
it?
doesn't work in game, but I think they actually have a real watch on
Wow.
their glove.
That's
I think they're
Sponsorship.
sponsored.
Yeah.
I think they're sponsored by Timex. I think.
Ah.
So that's why they've got that. And off I go again. But yeah, they do have that watch. First time I noticed it on real, I was like, okay, I have to check. I've been trying to watch this for. Sorry,
Right,
forgive
yeah,
the pun.
yeah.
I've been trying to watch this for quite a while and trying to figure out, does that watch actually work?
Just keep telling
That's
you
not-
right. Just keep
well,
telling you can see
no,
it.
I mean in actual Formula One, I now pay more attention to the watch than the car, trying to figure out,
That's
is
not
that
good.
watch working? But yeah, like we said, it's more mechanic, it's more downforce,
Yeah.
it's got more mechanical grip as well.
But and also this car does look the part, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah,
It looks really. I mean, compared to the other ones.
Yeah, the colours, I really like the colours. They're darker than the previous years, and it just gives it a more aggressive look.
Thank God they fixed the nose. That was the
Yeah.
main issue.
Yeah, big
Right.
time.
I mean, I said a Corsa.
Assetto Corsa. Well, this is a
Oh
Formula
no,
Corsa.
Formula Corsa. I said Formula Corsa. Sorry.
We're in Assetto Corsa.
Yeah,
I'm sure
yeah.
they don't mind this. I'm sure they don't mind being compared to Assetto Corsa.
Formula Corsa.
But yeah, Formula Corsa. You know what? Again, the mod is absolutely fantastic.
I'm actually getting tired now. Just keep I'm complimenting. I actually want them to.
Do something wrong?
Yeah, so that we can actually not compliment them. and
Well,
keep-
if there was anything that I had to say about this, I would say that the sounds could do with just a little bit of work.
And
But
also-
then again, that's almost all cars across the board. Every single mod, even Kunos' own cars, the sounds could do with a little bit of work.
Yeah.
But apart from that, you know, it's hard to, especially when you look at that watch and look at the detail that they
Yeah.
put into the glove.
Yeah.
It's hard to say, okay, they haven't done a good job.
Yeah.
You know, the car is just really good. It sounds good.
Yeah. Agree. And everything is there, isn't it?
It is. I mean, they really put in a lot of effort, and you see the Formula Corsa team. It's a very big team. It's a large team. There are a lot of people working on this. You know, people like Charging Car, who's normally lead developer. You've got Edward Schofield. He's one of the physics. You've got Never Crash. You know, there are top guys here, and there are so many of them. We should probably list their names off in the description box.
Yeah.
In fact, that's what I will do. I will list all their names off in the description box just to see how big a venture this is for these guys. And again, everything about this car is, I'd say, almost perfect. Now, obviously, we haven't driven Formula One cars, so we can't say, oh, bang on. But it is as close as you're going to get. It really is. There you go. I told you, there's that.
Say
lap
what?
time.
We'll grade it now.
Yep. Okay. I mean, this is only 14 minutes into a video, but we'll let you enjoy a few laps at
Yeah.
the end. We'll start grading it with.
Shall I go first?
Yeah. Go on.
I'm gonna give it an F
Wow.
because I'm tired of giving them A's. No, on a serious note, it's gotta be up there, isn't it? I mean,
It is.
It's there. It's an A, I think.
It has to be an A. I mean, what are you gonna say?
I can't really say anything because it's Formula Corsa and they always do a good job. It's hard to give them a lower grade than 8.
Yeah, it
So,
is. It's
you know,
very difficult to find a criticism.
Just keep doing your thing, Formula Corsa, and hopefully it'll make a bad car next time.
No, don't say that, because
I
the
wouldn't
next
be
car,
joking.
the next car I'm looking forward to is the Ferrari F2002, and that has to be good because that's my favorite car. That is my favorite Formula One car. So
I'm sure it'll be good.
I want that car to be there, the F2002. Yeah, A. It is an A. Everything about this car is, I would say, as far as we can tell, perfection. Lewis Hamilton, if you're watching this, give this a try and let us know.
Yeah.
You know, it would be good to see someone like Lewis Hamilton go into one of these, into a full motion simulator and say, hang on, this car feels like this, or this car feels like, or I think it would make Formula Corsa's day. Imagine Lewis Hamilton turning around and say, you know what, this feels like my car. That I feel comfortable in this.
But you'd have to have the whole.
True.
Yeah, you'd have to have the
cockpit.
whole cockpit
Yeah,
and all of that.
everything else as well.
But it is. What more can you say about that? They've got this car. They've got the Williams. I know that there's the Ferrari F2002 coming. There's the Ferrari, this year's Ferrari, the, what's it called? I keep forgetting what it's called. But anyway, this year's Ferrari. Right, I think they've got that in development as well. They've got the Williams FW31, which we really like. That lovely V8. What else? They've got quite a few actually. They've got the GP2 series as well coming in. So there are a lot of work coming in from Formula Corsa, and we really look forward to it. I think all of us agree that we're really looking forward to trying every single one of them. They keep us busy. Every time we think we're going to run out of cars to review, they come out with a new one.
It pops up, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's good.
So that's really great, and I think what we'll do is we've got about 2 minutes or 2.5 minutes to go on this. I'll let you enjoy. I think I've got about 2 more laps, so I will let you enjoy 2 more laps. Oh, have you found the Ferrari?
I'm actually googling it
SF15T, Scuderia Ferrari 15. Well, of course, because the other one was the F14T, so they would naturally name this the F14T. What does F14T spell out, if you think about it?
F14.
14 is a year. Ferrari.
Yeah,
14,
but what does it spell out if you have a look at it? Now we're going a bit off topic. And this was because of how terrible they were in many ways. Write
sure.
F14T and then have a look at it.
Oh, what it spells out?
Fiat.
Oh.
That's what Ferrari were last year. This year
I
they're
think
not.
on that, no, I'm not going to say bombshell because that's Jeremy Clarkson, but on that note,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think it's time to end.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to hit the like button if you like this video. Subscribe to our channel for more videos on Assetto Corsa. Formula Corsa, keep doing your thing. And leave a comment in our comments box below if you think that there's things that maybe they need to improve that we haven't picked up on. We'll see you next time.